Coming up on the Fall Sports Rewind, we will carry you through the seasons of all 4 of our fall sports and recap their years. This includes volleyball and their rebuilding season, boys soccer and their playoff caliber team which almost knocked off the #1 team in the state, girls soccer and their return to the state playoffs, football and the team's hot start, and cross country in their memorable season. All this and more is coming up on the Fall Sports Rewind. Hi, I'm Cole Costello, and welcome back to another NM Athletics production. Before we get into the sports section of our show, we'd just like to take a moment to recognize that this is our 100th video. Thank you for all your support for our first 99 videos, and hopefully for our 99 videos to come. The soccer teams were the highlights of this sports season, as they both made it to the first round of the OSAA State Championships. But there are many other stories to be told. And to kick them off, here's Shane Whitehead, who will brief you on the cross-country team season.
We are one tonight.
Thanks, Cole. The cross-country team opened up the season in a flurry with 3 meets right off the bat. The first meets were used to get the runners in gear, as not many Huskies ran on the varsity side. Starting with the Silver Falls Invitational, North Marion runners began to make their presence known in some of the top finishers. First-year cross-country runner Christian Parr was consistently atop the finishers for the Huskies. And here's Christian talking about deciding to join the team and his off-season preparation.
Well, Aaron's been bugging me every year to come out to cross-country because, track is my favorite sport. And he kept saying, well, hey, you should do cross-country too. But I'm not a big fan of long distance, but he got me to do it.
You very quickly became one of the team's top runners. Did you do anything special to get in that good of a shape, or is that just natural?
I worked really hard during the summer. I ran every day. And
Wow.
That's the biggest thing in cross country, just work on the off season.
Christian placed first at the State and High Invitational among a host of Husky runners in the top 20 on both the boys and girls side, the team's highest finishing meet of the season. After running in a couple of large meets, the team found themselves running in the Tri-Valley District Championships. After an inspired effort, the boys fell just short of moving on to state, but still managed a 3rd place in league. Runners Spencer Christie, Ben Hamburg, and Elbert Gueron earned 2nd team All-League on the boys' side, while Hannah Surkamp also earned 2nd team All-League for the girls. Grant Barrow was an All-League honorable mention for the boys. The boys' side will lose 3 seniors while the girls lose 1, but with many young runners returning with a year of cross-country under their belt, be sure to look for some exciting upcoming seasons in the sport. Now for volleyball, here's Cole.
Make me come alive, come on and turn me on. Touch me, save my life, come on and turn me on. I'm so young to die, come on and turn me on.
Thank you, Shane. Coming into this season facing a rebuilding year, the volleyball team was looking to work on the fundamentals that would set the program in the right direction. The team opened up with losses against tough opponents including Tillamook, Cascade, and Astoria. The first set win came in the team's game versus Yamhill Carleton, but more importantly, the team's first game win came in thrilling fashion in a home contest against Seaside. Here's senior Katie Zwicker talking about the excitement surrounding the Huskies' win.
It felt pretty awesome because last year our team wasn't very well put together. We didn't win many matches, so the win against Seaside felt really good.
As the league came around, the Huskies struggled mightily, suffering through several games at a time without claiming the victory of any sets. Once again, here's Katie Zwicker, this time talking about staying motivated throughout the rough season.
I tried to keep the team focused on improvement instead of wins and losses.
In what area do you think the team improved most from day 1 to the end of the season?
I would say overall scrappiness. At the end of the season we were going for every ball, and at the beginning of the season we didn't put forth much effort.
North Marion came close to Gladstone on 2 separate occasions, but the Gladiators prevailed to keep the Huskies winless in league. And that takes us to our season snapshot. The high point of the season was the ladies' thrilling preseason victory over the Seaside Seagulls, where North Marion won the first, third, and pivotal 5th set to claim the win over Seaside. This season was ended short of the postseason. The Huskies came so close in a later match with Seaside, along with 2 matches against Gladstone, especially one which they lost in 5 sets to the Gladiators.
Don't let me die young. I just want
Over
you
to the all-league results from volleyball, 2 Huskies earned honors. Haley Schrank and Chelsea Luna both were honorable mentions all-league. That's it for our volleyball recap. Now we're going to move on over to girls soccer.
We don't even have to try, it's always a good time. It's always a good
After 9 months in off-season mode, the Huskies started the season with a bang, defeating Tillamook 11-0. Here is senior Alyssa Cha talking about that exciting first game.
I don't know, I think it was just fun to be back with the team, and it was nice to have that, I guess, that streak. So it kind of boosted up the whole team, and especially us seniors being the seniors and kind of being the role models for the younger kids. It was just a really nice way to start off the season.
The Lady Huskies closed out the non-conference schedule with a close win over Banks, a loss to Westside Christian, and a blowout 8-0 victory over Roosevelt. Then Tri-Valley Conference play began. And here's Alyssa on the always tough conference.
It's really competitive, especially having the last year's state champion.
Yeah.
So it's tough because going up against Gladstone, Malala, LaSalle, all 3 of them are really good teams, and even Estacada and Madras stepped up their game a lot this season. So I think just having the competition was really nice.
In league, the Huskies convincingly beat Madras twice, beat and tied Estacada, and defeated Malala once in one of the most exciting games of the season. Another great performance came when North Marion tied LaSalle to open up the second round of league. Talking about the high point of the season, here's Alyssa again.
I think our Gladstone game, our senior night where we only lost by 1 to Gladstone because we had previously lost against them 5-0, was a really high point for us, especially for us seniors because it was our senior night. And so that was a really nice game. And then beating Malala, that was good. So, and then just kind of coming together as a team.
Yeah. Finishing conference play at 4-4-2, North Marion earned a play-in game, and for that they made the extensive journey to Ontario and, in a new time zone, upset the Ontario Tigers 2-0.
Going into it, we heard that Ontario was a really good team, so we were kind of, I guess some girls were doubting us, but just to know that we got that first goal, it kind of pumped up the whole team. And once we got that second goal, I think we knew that from there, like, we deserve this and we should go to the playoffs. So.
Moving on from the play-in win, the Huskies found themselves in the first round of the OSAA State Championships for the second consecutive season. They were once again matched up with the #1 ranked Mazama Vikings. And despite the final score, the ladies put up a good effort against the state's best club. Taking a look at the season snapshot, North Marion finished with a record of 8 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties. High points throughout the season included beating the Malala Indians 3-2, tying LaSalle 1-1, and upsetting Ontario 2-0 in the play-in round. Their season was ended after a first-round playoff exit after losing to the #1 seeded Mazama Vikings. The so-close point of the season came at a 1-0 loss to Gladstone to end the season. North Marion held the undefeated Gladiators scoreless for the entire match until the final minutes, where Gladstone scored to edge the Huskies. The play of the season caught on camera was this long-distance goal from Febe Samato in the team's win over Malala. With a solid season, several Huskies earned all-league honors. Making the first team were seniors Febe Samato and Jasmine Flores. Second team included Alyssa Cha, while Paulina Turan and Hannah Waite and Miranda Aldrich were honorable mentions. Now here's a quick compilation of every goal caught on camera this season.
I break all the rules like Evo Knievel. It's a spectacular show, cause my heart pumps diesel. So whatever you saying, it don't entertain my ego. I do this every day. Hocus pocus is my stilo. I got the magic in me. I got the magic, baby. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Yes, it turns to gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. I got the magic, baby. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. They be snapping, baby. Everybody wants a blast of magic, magic.
advisor for boys soccer.
You know I'm gonna get you, yeah. Whatever it takes to get there. No, I won't drop you.
Thanks, Cole. The boys soccer club also finished the non-conference slate with a 3-1 record, defeating Tillamook, Westside Christian, and Roosevelt. The Huskies' most impressive preseason win was a 7-1 shellacking of Westside Christian. Moving into league play, the Huskies had a tall task on their hand, as senior Ivan Salcido talks about here.
What did you have to do to prepare for such a league like that?
Mainly start passing more, start communicating, start passing. Just overcome the fact that teams were fast. Some teams were fast. Some knew how to play more with the ball. We just had to learn how to combine that, play as a team, play fast, obviously, and just play better together.
As the Huskies delved into league play, Edgar Salgado and Chris Wapeo emerged as the Huskies' premier scorers, while solid defense was provided by goalkeeper Shane Whitehead. The Huskies took care of business with the teams in league below them, as they swept Estacada, Madras, and Gladstone. However, the Huskies lost in both contests with LaSalle and Malala. The team was making big strides in improving game to game, as Ivan Salcido discusses.
So at the beginning, I believe we started off a little rough. We weren't working as much as a team, but as we got towards the end of the season, we began playing more as a team, more together, knowing what we wanted. We wanted to go to state. We wanted to win state. Being the fact that we couldn't go as far, we did a great job, played together, played as a team, and we all played for one person, which was our coach.
After coming out of league with a respectable 6-4 record and securely in third place, the Huskies had done just enough to earn a home playing game. This was the first postseason event held at North Marion since we started doing these videos. North Marion did not disappoint either, as they treated the sizable crowd to an exciting 8-2 win over the Pelicans of Klamath Union. This earned North Marion a spot in the first round of the OSAA State Championships, and they traveled to Milton Freewater for a game with the McLaughlin Pioneers. The Huskies went down by a deficit of 3-1, but came out for the second half firing on all cylinders. North Marion made up the margin to tie the game at 3 and hold even with the Pioneers for several minutes. But McLaughlin scored in the final minutes to skirt past the Huskies. Ivan talked about this game also.
We had a rough start at the beginning for the fact that they had speed on us. They had a lot of speed, and I believe that we wanted it. We showed them. We tied it up 3-3, and we came back. Fortunately, at the end, they had a mistake on us, so they had the 4-3 lead.
Overall, it was a very exciting year for the boys soccer club, who showcased a lot of young talent over the course of the season. All 3 of the seniors that are departing this year will be missed, but the team looks to return as strong as ever next season. Taking a look at the season snapshot, the Huskies finished with an impressive 10-6 mark. The highest point of the season was North Marion's outstanding performance in the home play-in game versus Klamath Union. The Huskies were ranked just one spot higher than the Pelicans, but North Marion overcame an early 1-0 deficit to prove their dominance over Klamath Union. The season came to a close after the Huskies were narrowly defeated by Mackay in the first round of the state playoffs. The Huskies were so close to beating the number 1 ranked Pioneers in the state playoffs as they held a 3-3 tie down the stretch. The best plays caught on camera were this goal by Jesus Salinas in the team's playoff game, plus the save from Shane Whitehead in the team's play-in game. 6 Huskies earned all league honors after the team's season. First teamers included Edgar Salgado and Jesus Salinas. On the second team, Ivan Salcido, Aaron Caballero, and Chris Wapeo represented the Huskies. And the lone honorable mention was Oscar Ruiz Contreras. Now, here's every goal we caught on camera.
You know I know how to make them stop and stare as I zone out. The club ain't even handle me right now. Watching me, I go all out. The club ain't even handle me right now. The club ain't even handle me right now. Can't nothing handle me right now. I see you, D-Getter. Let's get 'em. Hey, I own the night and I don't need no help. Gotta be the feeling that Scarface fell. Starting going wild, can't handle this player. Back for the club, arrogant like yeah. Top like money, so the girls just mail. One too many, y'all know me like 12. Look like cash and they all just there. Bottles, models, selling no shares. Fall out, cause that's the business. All out is so ridiculous. So now
boys and girls soccer teams combined to set a record at North Marion, as it was the first year ever that both soccer teams advanced to the state playoffs. That's it for our boys soccer rewind. Now here's Josh for football.
Go hard today. The past is the past, you know. About the past, 'cause that was yesterday. It's a new day, bro. I'ma put it on my day.
Thanks, Logan. In an off-season which saw the transformation of the coaching staff, many changes were taking place in the Huskies football team this season. Doug Bilodeau was named the Huskies head coach, and there were several new players out this season. North Marion opened up with a 13-0 defeat of Tillamook on the road. The Huskies limited the Cheesemakers to just 77 yards offensively and forced 4 turnovers, paving the way to the first win of the season. At home versus the lowly Yamhill Carlton Tigers, the Huskies put up a 26-7 score on YC and, as expected, went on to win. Rounding out the preseason schedule, the Huskies, after trailing by 2 possessions on separate occasions, came back to defeat the Junction City Tigers 26-19. On one of the most memorable plays of the season, Kyle Williamson caught a 33-yard touchdown pass from Wyatt Moore to complete the North Marion comeback. Throughout the season, community support was obvious through many aspects, most notably in a packed season opener versus YC. On that community involvement, here is Coach Doug Bilodeau.
I think they've been awesome. The parents, the student body, the administration, all the way over to the district office, but most of all, the community itself. We had that barbecue in the beginning of the year. There's a lot of people there. There was a lot of people at games. I haven't been to a North Marion game before, so I felt the support was there. Some people helped us financially. Some people gave us stuff. So I really felt the support was there, and I hope it continues.
After the successful preseason, North Marion was ranked at number 7 in the Associated Press polls. But the Huskies ran into some outstanding opponents when league play came along, as they were matched up with some of the state's best week after week. On homecoming night, the Huskies' high spirits were dampened by Madras, who won 46-18 behind several big yardage scoring plays. The ensuing LaSalle game, combined with the Tillamook game, were 2 of the best games of the season in Coach Bilodeau's eyes.
The Tillamook game. I went in there with a different paradigm. I walked into a situation where I said, we knew a little bit about them. We didn't know a whole lot about them. We had them on film from the week before. But I really didn't understand how the defense and offense would respond in a live situation. I really didn't know what would happen. At the end of the game, I was speechless. I couldn't talk. I was excited, but I was really proud the way those guys, and we won. Wow. That was a game. We held them defensively 77 yards. Our offense really picked up and just started moving the ball on them. Very exciting. The next exciting game, I think, was LaSalle. I looked at LaSalle on film, and I was concerned. I was concerned about what the score would look like at the end of the first half. I was thinking, well, can we stop them defensively? Can we move the ball? We did some pretty darn good things. We walked into the locker room with 13-7. Now, walking into the locker room at 13-7, we came out and didn't play for half a quarter. And then as things snowballed, we regrouped and started playing again. So that was pretty exciting against the number 1 team in the state. So, I was happy for that.
As Coach Bilodeau mentioned, North Marion scored first and was down just 13-7 at halftime. However, a gigantic third quarter by the number 1 ranked Falcons led LaSalle to a big win at 42-15. Then in one of the more disappointing games of the season, the Huskies narrowly fell to the Estacada Rangers 32-28. North Marion held multiple leads throughout the game, but allowed the Rangers to score at inopportune times and went on to win. The Huskies ended the season with a pair of tough losses, losing to Molalla in the terrible rainy conditions, and looking good but losing 31-13 to Gladstone to end the season. Looking back on the season as a whole, Coach Bilodeau was happy overall with the turnout, especially in his first year of coaching.
I think they went real well. Coming in late in the spring, got a little bit of spring ball, got some numbers out, coming out with a bang, going 3-0, being ranked 7th or 8th, whatever we were. I think that kind of sparked some excitement around here. I mean, I feel like in our league, We went into league, sure, we didn't win like we thought we wanted to win, but I'll tell you, a lot of good things happened. I'm excited about what we did. I'm proud of the guys, the way they played. They never quit. So we did some things. We played against some very good teams. How many teams did we get to play that were in the top 10 that are in our league? So I felt like we worked hard and did a good job. I was real proud of the guys.
North Marion loses many important seniors, including starting quarterback Wyatt Moore and starting running back Matt McLaren. The reins of the starting quarterback position will be handed over to Ben Crumley for next season. Overall, the 3-0 start was very exciting for NM Nation, and the Huskies will look to duplicate that success next year, plus carry it over to league play also. Looking at a snapshot of the season, North Marion finished at 3-5, the lowest number of losses since 2009 when the Huskies advanced to the state playoffs. The high points were the season opening win at Tillamook and the exhilarating comeback win over Junction City. North Marion's season ended after they fell short of the play-in round. The best play caught on camera was the play we talked about earlier, where Kyle Williamson reeled in a 33-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 19 to complete a Huskies comeback in a game where they would go on to win 26-19. This victory set the Huskies at 3-0 and number 7 in the AP polls. The Huskies fared well in all-league voting, but there was only one first-teamer. Matt McLaren was the first-team tailback, receiving the same amount of votes as two of the state's best runners, in Colin Meisner and Handsome Smith. Many North Marion players made the second team. Cody Walker was a second-team fullback, Kyle Williamson was a second-team receiver and kickoff punt returner, Tristan Wampel was a second-team offensive guard, Emery Patterson was a second-team linebacker, and Trevor Kaufman earned second-team kicker for his league-renowned pooch kick. Honorable mentions included Brennan Patterson at the offensive tackle position and Vladimir Rutov as the linebacker. That wraps up our Team Rewinds. Now here's Cole to answer the trivia question from last week. But first, here's a message from our sponsor, Young Life.
When you put them all together, they be ready for whatever. When you put them all together, they be ready for whatever. Now big pop, jump, jump, big pop, jump, jump, big pop, jump, jump, big pop, jump, jump. Big pop, jump, jump, big pop, jump, jump.
Thanks, Josh. Last week we asked you, since the change of the playoff system in 2010, how many number 8 seeds have scored at least 3 goals on their number 1 seeded opponent? This included both genders and all classifications. The answer was 3. Since the change of the playoff system, North Marion is one of 3 teams all time to score 3 goals as a number 8 seed on their number 1 opponent. Other teams to do this include the Beaverton boys team, who scored 3 goals on North Medford this year, and the Wilsonville girls, who scored 3 goals on Summit last year. We'll get you a new question next week in our Winter Sports Preview. Now here's Josh for our high-flying performers of the season.
Let's go.
Thanks, Cole. And as part of our rewind, we are going to name a North Marion Athletics FBLA high-flying performer for each of our fall sports. The high-flying performer of the football team was Matt McLaren, who is the leading rusher for the Huskies this season. Matt averaged nearly 90 yards a game, running the ball in for 8 touchdowns. Matt's effort throughout the season never wavered, as he came up with several big runs in key situations. His effort this season earned him a first-team All-League spot at the tailback position, tying in votes with 2 of the state's best in Colin Meisner and Handsome Smith. The High-Flying Performer Award of the girls soccer team goes to Jasmine Flores for her success offensively this season. Jasmine kept the Huskies in many tight contests and propelled them to wins in many games this season with her offensive firepower, scoring many goals throughout the season. Her effort this year earned her a first-team All-League spot. On the boys soccer side, Edgar Salgado was the high-flying performer. In his first year of soccer at North Marion, Edgar rose to the top of the Tri-Valley Conference forwards, scoring goal after goal this season. On several occasions, Edgar pulled a hat trick and even pulled a 4-goal performance. His effort this season earned him a first-team All-League spot also. Haley Schrank earns our award of high-flying performer for the volleyball team. Haley, making good use of her height, was always the first Husky to make a good play in a crucial situation for her team. She earned honorable mention All-League this season. Christian Parr, in his first year of running cross-country, earned the High Flying Performer Award for boys cross-country. Christian was consistently atop the Huskies finishers list and was in the top 10 of races for most of the season, and we look forward to his high-placing action next season. On the girls' side, Hannah Surkamp was our high-flying performer. As the team's only varsity runner for the majority of the season, Hannah came in high enough in the district meet to make the second-team All-League mark, and we look forward to her running next season. Be sure to visit Mr. Wade Murray in Room 2 for all of your balloon needs, as they are perfect for any occasion. Now here's Cole Costello to wrap up the fall sports season.
And with that, we wrap up our coverage of the fall sports season. Join us next week as we lace up our basketball shoes, roll out the mats, and dive into the warm, exciting pool of winter sports. I'm Cole Costello, and this has been the Fall Sports Husky Zone.
Standing in the light till it's over.